The wait is finally over, the off-season has drawn to a close, and we are live for the Formula College World Championship in the 13th season of the Collegiate iRacing League. No points on the line tonight for this exhibition race at Interlagos, but still plenty of prestige on the line. My name is Cade Corbin, your host for tonight, set to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage from the virtual Sao Paulo, Brazil, joined in the booth by tonight's Bruce, broadcaster and producer, as well as a previous FC driver and FC race winner and previous full-time driver Ryan Whitlock. Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderfully, Cade. I am figuring out what buttons to mash and what cameras to click, but you know what? That's what the Clash is for. I know Interlagos can produce great racing, so we'll just watch and enjoy.
And that's exactly right. We saw a great race here last season. Muhammad Alif, Jake Cummings, and Cale Davidson bringing home the podium in that event. Closed out the last season. So the last time that the Formula College Series was on track was at this very track. And so I think it's good to come back to that same place, shake off some rust. You know, you're trying to build momentum for this full season. It's going to be a long season. It's going to take us all the way into December. And so, Ryan, I want to ask as a driver, how important are these non-points paying races to kick off the season? You know, even though there's really no reward on the line, you still want to do well, but how much does that momentum carry over into the first part of the regular season?
I mean, it's just a good way to shake off some rust. You never really know how much time these guys spend in the off-season practicing. So just an organized race with all the same people you're gonna be racing for the rest of the season. Kind of see how things stack up, see if maybe anyone's gotten worse or gotten better over the course of the off season, and just get back into the groove more than anything.
There was a little bit of an update to this $IR18 race car over the off season. It now uses a hybrid system, if I'm remembering that correctly. So that's another thing that
not
these
an iRacing, not yet.
Oh, I thought it was added. Okay, well, I guess not.
The tires are different, aero model's different, car sounds different. They don't have hybrid yet, but I mean, the dashboard says battery boost, so it's coming.
All right, well, that threw me for a loop. I took some practice laps the other day, and I just assumed it was a hybrid because, like Ryan said, it sounds different, it drives different, and even though it isn't a different engine type, it is still very much not the same race car that we saw a season ago. It's going to be a little bit of a handful. In 55 laps around Interlagos, I know it's called a Clash, but that is quite a long race, plenty of time for drivers to feel this out, and like Ryan said, get a feel for not only the car, but also the competition and the environment. We are set to go green here in just about 9 minutes. Qualifying is wrapping up, so we'll get you that starting grid here pretty soon. But before we get there, this is going to be, like I said, a pretty long race. Fuel run going to be anywhere from 20 to 23 laps. Drivers have 2 compounds of tires that they have to use each compound at least once. And so that could lead to some very, very interesting strategies. Ryan, when you're coming into a race like this, what are you typically thinking of doing? Are you wanting to attack early and then, maybe have a set of tires that you're not so sure about laying in the pits for the end? Or do you want to go easy when everybody's all bunched together and then really be able to make ground up by the end of the race?
I really couldn't tell you. I mean, this race length is shortened compared to doing the same track to finish the season last season. But I mean, it was tough. I really don't know how the new tires are going to behave either. It was kind of a known thing with the previous IndyCar model that the red tires would get up to speed pretty quickly, and you could make them last a full fuel stint. You'd have to try a little bit, but generally the red tires were better on road courses, and the black tires were going to be about a second off, and only really you would get that overlap towards the very end of a stint, so it just wasn't worth it to use the black, harder compound tires. I have no idea how that balance is with the new IndyCar update, so I mean, I guess that's another reason we should be glad preseason exists. We can watch and find out before points start getting paid.
We'll be finding that out up here in the booth as well. There it is, 55 laps, unlimited tire sets, but again, you've got 2 different compounds, a softer red tire that we're expecting to degrade quickly but have grip at the beginning of the run. That black, harder tire is going to hold on to some grip and continue there. Here's a look at the track, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, 4.3 kilometers in length, opened in 1940. Look, I've been practicing my Spanish.
You
already.
went for it. You went for it.
Look, all right, I've been really excited this offseason. Everybody's been excited this offseason. Sometimes when I'm washing my hands, I would sit there and go, oh, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. Like, I got to get some sauce on it. But anyways, we're coming down pit road 50 miles an hour. That lap record there, 114.8. I actually know this off the top of my head. It was Juan Pablo Montoya back in the 2010s. We're expecting lap times here to be so. Yeah.
F1 wasn't here.
Back in
Juan Pablo Montoya wasn't in F1 in the 2010s.
I read it on Wikipedia. It has to be true.
You're probably, I don't know, maybe it was like 04. Anyways.
It was back in maybe it was a V10 engine is what I'm thinking about. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. 114.8, the all-time record, but we're expecting drivers to be around the 119, maybe 118 range. A pole time could be somewhere in there. And that's important because even though this is an exhibition race, we still want quality drivers on the field, which means the 105% rule is in effect. Essentially, whatever the driver who wins the pole, whatever his qualifying time is, everybody else must set a lap within 105% of that time in order to make the field. Tonight, we're expecting that lap time to be somewhere around the minute 22, potentially a very low minute 23. But if anybody's able to set that lap between qualifying, practice, or warm-up, they will be allowed to compete in the race. I believe we have 21 cars on the entry list for tonight.
Grid works.
So we are going to give this a shot. And it looks like it has worked. It looks like qualifying has wrapped up. And Lucas Moody sitting on the pole for today's race in the 13 car for Ball State University. He's alongside his teammate Dylan Beatty. That might be a career best qualifying effort for Dylan Beatty. Not a points race, but still super impressive. Jake Cummings, runner-up in this race last season. He'll roll off third alongside Clint Halterman, the defending alumni championship from UNC Charlotte. Rounding out the top five, it's Ricky Paz, now representing Valparaiso, starting alongside last year's Rookie of the Year, Keegan Callick from St. Clair College. Starting in eighth, it's Thomas Crump, the alumni from Clemson University. He's seventh, but he starts alongside Edwin Onofre from the University of North Texas. And rounding out the top 10, it's Riley Birkins from New England College there in the 33 car, alongside a rookie, Logan McKim, teammate to Callick, also from St. Clair. Ryan, take the next couple.
Yes, sir. P11 from Trine University is Nolan Starkey in that 096 car, right next to Andrew Voigt in 12th from Penn State. Where's my button? There's my button. Alex Jones rolls off P13 from the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, with Brandon Schulenberger making a rare FC appearance. Good to see Brandon on the grid in 14th from Wingate University. We've got Josh Kempfer from Kansas State in 15th, and then Aaron Gosler from Kansas State in 16th. I think both of these guys are rookies to FC, so good to see some rookies in the clash. P17 is John Voigt from Penn State University, right next to our very own Connor Bingle from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. First time I'm seeing this paint scheme. I think Connor is committing to a full season. See how he does there, and I do believe that is the sum total of our grid. I think drivers are now on track for their warm-up. Yeah. If I can find one of them.
So 18 cars. We'll get about 3 more minutes of that warm-up here, and then they will grid up and get ready for the green flag. But yeah, a lot of new faces. A few drivers dipped their toes in the water last season, guys like Birkins and Bingle. But both of them, I believe, are making a full-time effort this season. We saw, again, a couple of drivers coming back, maybe for some one-off races, guys like Brandon Schulenberger. We're expecting the field to be much larger once we actually get rolling with the season. I believe there were somewhere close to 50 different drivers registered for the league. So a lot of names, a lot of storylines to follow. A lot of it's going to be exciting. But while we're talking about names, I want to talk about guys who are going to run well today and guys who we think are going to win the race. Our Muhammad Alif was in the practice session, but wound up not qualifying for the race for some reason or another. We're not entirely sure about that. He and Caden Hughes will not be rolling off, even though both those drivers turn practice laps. So that opens up the field a little bit. Ryan, who do you think has a shot to go out there and win the Clash?
Well, I mean, Edwin Onofre is in this race. I believe he qualified a ways up there. And he put in a very impressive performance to get second place in our Sports Car Challenge class just last night. So I would definitely keep an eye on Edwin personally. That's my pick.
I think it's going to be hard to beat a guy from the pole. We've seen track position be pretty important at this track, even though there are relatively many passing zones. There's definitely a lot of spots on this track where you can make a spot up. It seems to me like being able to control the race from the get-go is going to be the way to go. I think Lucas Moody, Dylan Beatty, if those two can work together, they can absolutely pull away from the field and get this done. Even with no Leaf, with no Davidson, I think the wall of ball's still going to be hard to knock down. Pains me a little bit to say it. You know, I'm a guy who likes parity as much as the next. But I think that clean air to start this race is really going to pay off. It's going to let him manage it. And we may very well see the Moody Missile pull off his first CIO victory here tonight.
These guys just have 2 minutes of warm-up left, and I figure out how to change camera angles. Dadgummit. That's something.
And in case you can't tell, folks, producing one of these races is not easy. So while I've got the chance, I want to give a shout out here to Ryan, stepping away from full-time driving to come back up here in the booth and behind the scenes, learning all these buttons to get this worked out for us. Hopefully he'll be with us the entire season if we don't scare him off, or if the technology doesn't break on him. But
figured it out.
No, always a lot of fun to be calling races with guys. You know, Ryan's a good friend of mine. He's really the one who got me into this Collegiate iRacing League. So you guys would not be forced to listen to my voice for this entire season.
Bing Bong.
Ryan. So this is Connor Bingle, another driver from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Paint scheme I made for him, actually. He bothered me about it quite a bit, but he's looking to have some good runs on road courses. You know, he comes from the short track world. He works a lot on short track cars in the real life, a lot of Crown Vics, a lot of late models, but now he's out here in an open wheel car in Brazil. So we'll see if he's a little bit of a fish out of water or if he can get acclimated quickly. I've got access to this man's data, and I can tell you he put in hours of practice just last night trying to get ready for this race. So we'll see how well Bingle does. He made the 105% rule, which honestly is good enough in and of itself in such a strong field. If you want to talk about guys like Jake Cummings, Edwin Onofre, these are guys with countless laps. There is Muhammad Alif. He set the purple lap, wasn't on the qualifying grid.
Yeah.
I believe that he put in a qualifying lap just after we ran the graphic, and so he didn't show up on the grid. He may be starting this race from the pole. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. But it looks like right now he's got alternate tires, those red sidewalls there. That is something that we're going to be on the lookout for as well.
Let's see. Maybe I can show
One of our rookies.
I'm not gonna bother trying to pull up timing tower just yet. We're looking at Logan McKim right now. We
were, and then he vanished.
All right, well, warm up is over. Time for why am I showing a replay? Anyways, these guys are about to grid. 55 lap race starting shortly. That's going to be a doozy. Interlagos is not easy. It lends itself to passing in this car very well. Can get a long run onto the front straightaway into turn 1, and then immediately after turn 1 set yourself up for a good exit for the straightaway on turn 3. So I think we are going to see some interesting things go on. Yeah, Lucas Moody is still pole. Our Muhammad Alif did not set a qualifying lap, but he set a rather impressive lap in warm-up, so definitely someone to keep an eye on.
Now, Leaf coming from the back is something that we've seen before. If he does take the green flag, gotta remember last year at Watkins Glen, the tornado race, Leaf actually had to start that one from the rear as well due to an EOL penalty, but was making his way forward and had taken command of the race before Mother Nature took command of Indiana, and unfortunately Olive Ball State knocked out of that one. Does look to me like a Leaf will be rolling off in the 19th spot. He's got 18 cars to pass, 55 laps to do it. I still think the track position is going to lend itself to Moody and Beatty there on the front row, which means if a Leaf can get to him, he'll have some work to do to get around him. They're going on a preferred strategy. They're going to be managing their fuel, managing their tires. They certainly work with, as that was a godly brake check by Dylan Beatty on the formation lap. My goodness. Wow. Mind games being played already.
As we round the second to last real corner on this track into the one that I know Martin Brundle likes saying the name of, that to back. Wait, no, that's Monaco. Do you remember the name of this corner, Cade?
Well, I have it on a spreadsheet here. I talked to my crew chief today, named ChatGPT, but that is turn 11. That is, in Portuguese is what it is. It's Mergulho. Going up 11 into 12. Now I think they're going to round 13 and beyond to that front stretch. I've got a list of the names, but they're all in a language which
you don't speak.
I'm not fluent in. So yeah, I can certainly try to read them at some point in the middle of this race if we want to get some entertainment going. But right for now, for the very first time this season, the safety car is going to pull off to the left. It's an all-Ball State front row, but two new faces, Lucas Moody, Dylan Beatty. Right behind him, it's Jake Cummings.
Green flag,
Coming
green
to
flag.
the green for the first time in season 13. Moody crosses the line, and we are green flag racing in Sao Paulo. Immediately, Moody gets clear of Beatty, working through the Senna S out of turn 2. Beatty all over his bumper, already opening up a little bit of a gap back to Cummings, but for the moment, they're going to stay single file now into the second heavy braking zone on the track. First side-by-side battle as far back. Looks to me like that's Ricky Paz peeking out of line, but he's going to keep that car there. Looking at Lucas Moody, he is single file. There is the Valparaiso and ECU machine of Ricky Paz side by side behind him. Edwin Onofre, I don't believe, got a good jump at the start under fire from Crump, but Onofre is clear as they head up the hill.
Yeah, as we look a little bit farther back. Oh my goodness, Nolan
Whoa.
Starkey just misses his braking point, runs a little bit wide. Gathers it back up.
I'll tell you what, though,
No harm, no foul.
that is a Trine University car. Sorry, Ryan, that's a Trine University car. A guy not in the field today is Wyatt Burton, the guy that we famously not only cheered for all season, showing a little bit of commentator's bias, but also nicknamed Mr. Excitement. I think a little bit of that excitement rubbed up on Starkey as he decided that he was going to launch it into that corner. Back up front, this is a very intense battle for the fourth spot. Clint Halterman paying tribute to Jimmy Johnson for some reason. Not sure if anybody told him that the car didn't have any fenders on it, but that's a Lowe's Chevrolet for Halterman. Now he's got Calic at his inside. Calic looking to make the move in the final turn, now into turn 1. Calic not clear. Preferred line goes back to Halterman, still side by side as they head through turn 3.
Let's see if Clint manages to tuck up under Calic and get a little bit of toe here. Ricky Paz is not far behind. This might be a 3 wide moment. Ricky thought about it and thought better of it. Clint
And
still
Ricky
inside
Paz
of
definitely
Keegan.
the guy.
They're giving each other plenty of room. Still side by side. That's what I love about Interlagos. And then Keegan clears Clint, but is Clint going to go for it here? He does, and he gets the room. Keegan gives him plenty of space. Lots of respect shown, arguably a little bit too much. Still side by side. Clint with the advantage. Is he going to be able to clear him? He is.
No, not quite.
Clint
It looks
finally
like.
clears him.
Ooh. You want to talk about respect, though. That was absolutely a lot of respect. These are the guys who know that it's lap number 2. You know, Calic and Halterman both have a lot of experience. Honestly, probably close to the same age. But once again, it looks like with the toe, Calic is going to get a run down the front straightaway. We'll see if he tries that same move again. Maybe try to force Halterman into a mistake. And I just noticed back up front, look at that.
Ricky
2 for
Paz!
1. Ricky Paz sends it into turn 2, almost 3 wide. Crump thought about it. Woo!
And then Keegan back inside of Ricky.
Crossover
Crump getting the
move.
double
He's
toe.
gonna have it into turn
He's gonna make it
3. Here
3.
he goes, 3 wide for Crump.
No, backs out of it.
Backs
Still
out of
Keegan
it.
side by side with Ricky. Plenty of room. Keegan, you're being a little too nice.
Hey, he's from north of the border. He knows all about pleasantries. He needs to come south a little bit and start fighting these guys, man. Keegan is one of my favorite drivers to cheer for. I ran the Watkins Glen 6-hour sports car race with him. And such a great guy. Nearly contact with Crump there. But he's got orange wheels on that 29 car, does he not? That looks to me like a little bit of stealing some branding there.
No, I think that is Edwin running some. Oh no, you're talking about Keegan, 29.
Talking about Keegan Calic, yeah. May have stolen a scheme from
No,
Zach
I think
DeWitt,
they're
I'm not
supposed to be
sure.
gold.
Oh.
I think those are supposed to be gold. I don't think there's any orange wheel impersonating happening here. And we totally missed a pass for the lead.
We did. I was going to mention it, but Dylan Beatty grabbed the lead over Lucas Moody.
Let's see if I can
couple
get
other
really
updates
lucky
here.
and find it.
Hit those in
Bam.
the,
Nope. Okay, it happened a long time ago.
okay.
Oh well. Good job, Dylan Beatty. As we go back to this battle for P6.
If I'm remembering correctly, this may be the first time that Dylan Beatty has ever led in FC competition, points paying or otherwise. Really good run going so far for Dylan Beatty. His teammate Muhammad Alif, you can see him there on the left side of the screen, just made a pass on Schulenberger for the 9th spot. Those two still side by side now. Schulenberger concedes the position. Alif already up to 9th. Want to mention a couple of other guys. Riley Birkin, New England College, you can see there, I believe lap 1 incident took Birkins out of the race. John Forbes Jr. was also able to make the grid in time. He and Alif started on the rear row. That is the number 11 from Saddleback College, the rookie. Forbes now up to the 17th spot, up 3 from where he started. Oh, off track there. That's the purple car. That is Ricky Paz. Got the right side tires into the grass, allowed Calic to sneak by on the inside. He's going to lose momentum down this long straightaway. It is a lot of on-throttle time. Luckily, he's able to get to the inside. Crump, a huge move. Crump, 3 wide, splits the difference, cuts to the middle of turn 1. Thomas Crump is through for the 5th spot, gets himself the preferred groove in turn 3. Now here comes Edwin Onofre. Onofre looks to the inside. Calic hoping not to bleed another position. That brings Muhammad Alif right into this string of 5. Look at the defense from Crump. Pulled the elevator on Paz to try to get to the preferred line, holds the middle, but Ricky Paz makes the pass on the outside.
This is some unbelievable stuff as we ride on board with Edwin Onofre, get a front row seat to this 5-man battle happening for P5. I don't know if I've ever seen this much wheel-to-wheel racing so early in an IndyCar race.
I will take the moment to mention that I have seen this much wheel-to-wheel racing on lap 5 of a NASCAR race. But, you know,
well,
this is fantastic stuff.
They have fenders, Kate. Of course they race different.
Well, but, you know, I mean, I've seen it done in this series before. You just give the guy a little bump, you know. You get him and you kind of get going. 0x, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that's my motto. If it was a 0x, it was clean. As Lucas Moody gets back by Dylan Beatty. They're still working.
Over into 1. Side by side through 2. Beatty holds the lead. But right now, Dylan Beatty under fire from his teammate. And I think what we're going to see here is a classic example.
Yeah, it just doesn't make it stick.
Tire lock up. You've got to know who's loving this battle. Oh! Jake Cummings as Lucas Moody loses it. Moody around. Cummings barely misses it. No contact for the 13. Gets rolling. Loses a spot to Halterman. Looks like he's going to hold on to P4. But too aggressive into the throttle for Lucas Moody. Look at this. This is rounding, I believe, turn 5. Gets the right sides over that curbing. And great job holding the brake from Moody. Very lucky that he didn't hit a wall.
Very lucky that he didn't hit a wall.
He's under fire now. This same battle has moved up to the 13 car, who right now has got to have some very angry tires. A lot of defending to do for Moody, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that time.
Long race to go. Still plenty of time. We're only about 1/9 of the way in right now.
But these guys are racing like it's the final 9th. I mean, you've seen these moves. Muhammad Alif has been able to slice his way through there and work his way up to 7th. But he's right behind Thomas Crump, who's been the most aggressive defender I think I've seen since I started broadcasting last season. Very, very aggressive. We'll see if he tries to hold the outside here in the Senna S. No. 6th spot goes to Muhammad Alif now.
Try to get the switch, though. Get some slipstream.
Yeah, he's going to get the toe down this long straightaway. And I believe that's the hard primary compound for Crump, so doing it on maybe not as fast of a tire as Muhammad Alif. Really loose there, oversteer on corner exit, trying to get the power down. The same spot that reached out and bit Moody, almost got Thomas Crump.
Yeah, Crump on the harder black tire and Alif on the red tire. I'm actually surprised. I don't know what other tires the rest of the field is on, but if Crump is on the primaries in his sea of alternates, he's doing very well.
And this was a race, too, if I remember right, where Thomas Crump ran incredibly well last season. I may be remembering this incorrectly, but I think he was the top running alumni in this race. Ricky Paz nearly loses it going up the hill. But yeah, very good track for Thomas Crump. Definitely top 10 last season. May have grabbed him an alumni win. And showing that strength once again here today. Talking about tires, you can see Calic is on those softer alternates. I know all three of the leaders right now, Beatty, Cummings, and Halterman, are all on the reds, as is Lucas Moody. Not sure about Paz. Looks like a no phrase on the alternates as well. So just something to keep an eye on.
You know, Kate, we watched Ricky get very sideways there coming out of that final corner, and I think I just came up with a new nickname for him as Keegan Kalick looks to the inside of Edwin Onofre. Don't think it's going to happen. It does not. You wanna hear my Ricky nickname? Oh, but Edwin gets loose!
Is it a Rick name?
Rick name. And Keegan has more overlap, but outside of that corner is really tough. Is he going to try to stay there? Is he going to try to get the inside for this next braking zone? Who was that? Oh my goodness, Nolan Starkey almost hit King Kalick. But anyways, my Ricky nickname, you want to hear it?
I do.
Right foot Ricky. Because he can't manage his right foot. That's
I would laugh at that, but I'm guilty of the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I don't know if I can come up with right foot Cade. It's not as good. I much prefer your nickname that I won't say out loud. John Voigt.
Anyways, back up front,
back.
Dylan Beatty. Oh yeah, this is a good battle. This is Kansas State. Oh, look at my
this is John Voigt on Josh Campfer for P14. See how much of a slipstream he gets here. Things have kind of balanced out across the field, as you can see on the timing tower on the left. Smallest gap right now is 0.4 of a second. You really need that to be. Oh, as Campher runs wide. We'll see if Voigt gets a crossover. John Forbes Jr. joins the battle. Gets some overlap. This is going to be a three-man fight. They're three wide.
Three wide.
I couldn't tell. Oh my goodness.
And Voigt smart to back out there. Forbes got some 2 for 1, but Campher not going to give it to him so easily. Campher gets run off the track, and Forbes is through for the 14th spot. Rookie from Saddleback. 3 rookies actually fighting it out right here.
Farther up, Muhammad Alif making the move on Lucas Moody after Lucas's spin a couple laps ago. Hasn't quite cleared him yet. Lucas forces the issue. Gives him a little bit of side pod. That's going to bring Ricky Paz into this.
Ricky's going to be grinning ear to ear as he sees cars side by side down this front straightaway. That's going to give him a huge run into turn 1. Moody, you can see there, green arrows on the left means he's on the push to pass, trying to maintain momentum down the front stretch into turn 1. But the spot is going to go to Muhammad Alif. Alif now up to the 4th spot. It's taken him 10 laps to get there. Only real question now might be when he's going to catch teammate Beatty and not if.
Yeah, I think Alif has shown the pace that we all know him to have, and I imagine he has probably put in more practice and knows the strategy better than his teammates as well. So as time goes on, Dylan might just have to accept his fate.
For the moment, though, still incredibly,
Yeah, still lots really of cars close together. Here's more of Alex Jones and John Forbes Jr. Andrew Voigt up ahead of Alex Jones, who we're looking at right now. Alex Jones gets a bit of a switchback, but not at a great corner for it. Andrew Voigt, P12, John Voigt, P15. I think John is a rookie. And given that they both go to Penn State.
Rookie in the alumni class, though.
Yeah, so I suppose Andrew managed to convince John to do some CIL racing. So shout out Andrew for bringing us a new driver. Always good to see fresh faces in the league, students and alumni alike. Much better exit for Alex Jones. He starts to work Andrew Voigt this long straightaway. I think he's close enough, but he's got to make the move happen. They're side by side. Neither of them are on the button, though, as far as I can tell. Outside is hard to do. Alex lets Andrew have the inside. Decides to fight another corner.
May have momentum down the straightaway here, though. We got a really good run through 2 and 3. Yep, he's going to peek to the outside.
Great defense by Voigt,
what would usually be the DRS zone. Yeah, this is going to be a really tough corner. We'll see who gets it. Jones going to concede, driving really smartly as a rookie here.
This is good stuff.
He's going to get side by side.
Let's watch how
Voigt has high
watch
speed
him work.
And you can see the
He's got the
hands
pace.
just behind that graphic, yeah. Little bit of oversteer on corner exit there. He's going to try another crossover here. Seems like these cars are really good at being able to get pointed and make that move done. But this has been a pretty impressive as all of a sudden Voigt goes off track. I was just going to compliment him, and Jones clears for the 12th spot. Right as I was about to say something nice about Andrew Voigt. Man, you cannot make this up. The commentator's curse is real. But Andrew Voigt had put on a really good first lap defense, and he's close enough still. He's got a chance to get a run down the front stretch and keep this battle going.
He's in that slipstream. That gap is closing. Goes to the inside. I think he's going to get him back. And he does.
Once again, Jones goes for the switchback. We'll see if he can get another great run out of 2 and 3. Look at the closing
has to
right.
hit
He
the
had
brakes.
lift right there.
And we just
That is
missed.
a little bit of a defensive move.
Oh, we've got Ricky Paz and Lucas Moody still battling it out.
Oh boy.
I saw them light up on my timing tower earlier. See how long this battle lasts. And Crump's right there still.
Pa's going to try to hold off both these guys. They've also got Edwin Onofre and Keegan Kallick in that battle. I mean, this is a 5-car snake 12 laps into the race. Also want to mention Dylan Beatty has lost the lead. He's now 2 seconds back of Jake Cummings. So Cummings to the front on lap 12. Nearly off track for Lucas Moody there under fire from Thomas Crump. Crump decides not to go side by side just yet. Now he's going to look to the inside of turn 13. Try to get some slipstream into the final couple of corners. Coming up the hill.
What a
Look
block!
at the defense from Ricky
Oh my
Paz,
goodness!
but Crump was there. And that 016 car had to brake super early to avoid absolutely plowing into Ricky Paz. And there goes Paz. He's going to lose 1, 2, 3, now 4 positions all the way back to the 9th spot for Ricky Paz. And he paid the price for that very aggressive defense down the straightaway. Now here goes Crump looking to the inside. That may have more been a defensive move on Onofre. But Crump, he's been really good this race. Very impressive stuff out of the driver from Clemson. Clemson as a university hoping to turn it around from the dismal luck that they had last season. I think I've got more fingers than I do Clemson cars that finished a race last year. And Crump looking to turn that one around. Right now running really, really well. We're on lap 13. And this is a little bit of a lap that I had highlighted. This is the first lap where you can pit and make it to the end of the race on either 1 or 2 more stops. So I'm predicting that we're going to see at least a couple of cars in on pit road this lap right here. If you pit here, you would probably want to switch to the hards to try to get a couple of longer runs to end this one out. There is also a 3-stop strategy in play. This could be your first of those 3 stops. So we'll see who brings it down the pit lane. And that's quite a few of them. Crump fakes out on the very end. But yes, Lucas Moody on pit road.
Lucas comes in. Let's see, what tires is he on? Quickly. On alternates, that's not surprising. And I'm imagining that spin earlier, he did some unhappy things to his alternates. As Muhammad Ali, like we were saying, makes the move on Dylan Beatty. That is for P3.
That move to me.
Yeah, Dylan must have already pit too. If he's third behind Jake McClint.
Something happened to Beatty. He slipped back from first to third pretty quick. And the way that pass happened, it looked to me like he just possibly abuse those tires. We've got a really hot track out here today, something we neglected to mention at the top of the show. But if he really hurt those alternates, it would have caused a lot of give up. The way that a Leaf snuck around him, it looked to me like the 12 just did a better job conserving his stuff while coming through the field, while Beatty was full push for the first run of the race. Probably going to pit sometime here in the next couple of laps. The entire field really should be in soon. But for the moment, their teammate Moody, the only one to pit, back up front, less than half a second between Cummings and Halterman for the lead. See what a Leaf does here, if he stays out or if he comes in.
Leaf stays out.
This is a move for the lead. This is Halterman into first. Second lead change of the day, and it goes to the 100 car. We'll see if Cummings lets him go or keeps at him. Look at that, Halterman on the primaries. making it work, but Halterman in the slipstream. Excuse me, Cummings in the slipstream of Halterman.
Yeah, I think we are past that crossover point. I think Clint is reaping the benefits of his primary harder compound tires, and Jake is just holding on to make it to his first pit stop. Yeah, Clint pulls a couple more car lengths in those fast corners. Fast corners like that, and you're struggling for grip, yeah, that gap is going to widen. Alternates are starting to fall away for sure for the guys on those.
Something happened
Jr.
to
just got by. Yeah, there's quite some racing going on farther back. Whole gaggle of cars, and Lucas Moody's right behind all of them, having to work his way through. All of these cars haven't pit yet, but Lucas has, and he's going to want to make some hay.
Yeah, Moody trying the undercut, but the only way for it to work is if he can get around these guys. John Forbes Jr. really impressive drive from the back, up 9 spots from where he started. Also ran really well in the NASCAR Clash on Monday, so a little bit of a multidisciplinary talent there from Saddleblack College as he puts the left rear tire on the grass and nearly loses it, but makes the save to hang on to the spot ahead of Alex Jones, as we have Dylan Beatty and Keegan Kallick now in the pits on lap 16.
Indeed they are. I'm curious to watch Beatty and see where he comes out. We'll probably get a look at Kallick too.
Both these guys were on the alternate tire. Looks like they're both going to be switching to the primaries. Yes, definitely the case for Beatty, the man who led much of this race early. Now looking to see what he can maintain.
Comes out with no pressure.
This is really good for Beatty. You talk about Moody getting stuck in that traffic.
Yep, Lucas still having to work his way through those guys. Oh my goodness, as Andrew Voigt gets squirrely.
Hangs on to it, but gives up the spot to Alex Jones. Those two cars side by side. Moody on the primaries as well as the cars around him. Looks like a lot of guys in the back half of the field opted to start on that harder tire. So at some point later, they're going to switch to the alternate, see how well it handles, and then try to make some push laps as Moody... That's the left front wing of Moody's car. That wing is gone. That is a huge deficit for downforce. You can see it there on corner exit. Just did not have the grip. Let's take another look at it here as Moody just snuck up to the inside of Forbes, gassed it up.
Enough.
May have been a little bit of netcode there, increasing the severity of the impact, but this 13 car is going to be ill handling for the next 38 laps. If you're Lucas Moody, that is a number you do not want to hear.
A couple other guys in
There's
the
no one
pits.
Starkey from trying. Yep, he throws it down pit road.
Yep, Ricky
Looks
Paz
like Ricky
coming out in the
Paz.
middle of this battle. Oh boy.
Paz going to be coming on fresh tires. This is going to be really interesting.
Cold tires though.
For right foot Ricky, oh, there he is. Cold tires into the braking zone. Andrew Voigt defends all the way to the bottom.
Oh, almost hits Lucas. Because Lucas had to slow up. Ricky's going to have no idea that Lucas's left front ring is broken. Goes for the inside. He's going to have it here. Oh, Lucas is off.
And that 13 car with no grip.
Yeah, he's going to park it. He's done. Broken wing. Spin earlier. Unfortunate. Just throws in the towel. Preseason, you can do that. No points deficit. No points penalty, but man. A race he started on pole for. No less. As Keegan gets real close to Ricky. Gets a better exit. Who was that?
Oh, that was Thomas.
That's Brandon Schulenberger.
Oh.
Good re-entry. How did this happen?
Was inside the top 10. And it looked to me, this is probably the same spot that, left front lock up there. Off in the grass. No contact, though.
Yet.
Then he gets back on track.
Dirty tires.
And dirty tires.
Yeah. Brutal. Brutal. I don't think he's made his pit stop yet. But he's still behind the bulk of the field. No pit stop. So, you know, Brandon is not an FC regular. Props to him for trying, but that's going to sting nonetheless. Andrew Voigt, Keegan Kallick continue to battle. This 6 to 12th range has been producing action all day, regardless of who's been there. We've seen a lot of names and faces in that range, and it's just been battles no matter what.
Back up front, we should note that the top 5 have yet to pit. We talked about the longest that you could go on a fuel run was anywhere from 20 to maybe 22 or 23 laps if you're stretching it. If you're going to do that, you're probably committing to a 2-stop strategy. So Halterman, Cummings, Alif, Onofre, and Crump, all of them running very solid races, but all of them have to pit 2 more times. First driver who's been on pit road is Dylan Beatty. I believe John Forbes Jr. Also has yet to make a stop, but that car all the way up to 7th, even on pit strategy, very impressive after coming from the back. As we look at, this is Andrew Voigt, I believe.
Wrong button.
That's a button showing us that our Muhammad Alif has a thermometer reading of 19, I think is what that was. I don't entirely know.
It's stints. Wait, can I do another driver?
That might be really cool if it works.
Yeah, wait a minute. I just want to know how long the... Well, there goes Alif. I just want to know how many laps these guys have on their tires. Oh, well.
According to my mental math, first driver to pit is Beatty, and then behind him, Ricky Paz is the next driver who has pit. Paz got around Forbes, so clean air for the 19. He's going to try to make the most of that. As we look at our Muhammad Alif, he's coming out of the pits on alternates here. Started the race on alts as well, so we know that for his last stop, he will be on the prime tire. But he made up so much time and was able to make those reds last on the first stint. He's going to be able to come out of the pits and go in attack mode. He has also undercut his competition. Halterman, Cummings have yet to pit. Alif was 3rd. He's going to cycle out to 5th here. But he'll have time to warm those tires up and make up some ground. Probably put down a halt lap before the 100 and the 95 get on and off pit road.
Yeah, maybe take a look at Clint as he goes into the last corner. He might be pitting here. If I'm wrong, then I look silly for changing the camera for no reason. But if he does pit this lap, I don't know how long fuel goes. It looks like he's staying out. And he does. So Clint might be going for the 1 stop?
I think he's going to have to be in either next time or the one after that. It is about 21 or 22 laps on fuel. He's on those prime tires right now. So I'd imagine he wants to stretch this as long as he can,
do like 2
and then take the rest of the race.
Stints,
2
maybe.
very hard push stints, yeah.
We'll see. We shall see. Well, things have spread out around the field, except we've got Connor Bingle back here in P16, trying to work on John Forbes Jr. You know what?
Though, Bingle's kept the car clean, and
yeah, he's 21 laps in, and the car has all the pieces still on it. Props to Connor. Oh, something just happened. What was that? Oh, that's just John Boyd in the pits. Never mind.
Yeah, John Boyd locking him up there, getting in the pits. Here's Brandon Schulenberger. Not sure. I don't think he's been on pit road yet, even after his spin. Bingle and Forbes putting it into the pits as well. All 3 of those drivers cleanly in and out. We'll see if they're switching to alternates or going to stay on primaries.
That looks like primaries for Forbes, and I saw primaries for Bingle. Clint is in the pit lane. Clint rescinds the lead. Jake Cummings is going to go 23 laps on gas. That is not enough for a 1 stop, but it ain't far. Let's see where Clint emerges relative to his competition.
It's going to be really close, I think, between the 100 and the 12. Yep, Muhammad Alif saw the 100 come to pit road. We saw him lay on the push to pass and just get the purple lap. Regular competition, that would be a point. No points today, just a little bit of bragging lights. Here he comes, Alif right on the bumper of Halterman. He's going to swing to the inside, easily take the lead as the 100 is on cold tires. This is effectively the race lead. pending how Cummings shakes out. But look at this. Crossover for Clint Halterman. Preferred line into the next corner is going to go to a leaf. But Halterman showing that he will not fade quietly. For the moment, staying within a couple car lengths of the 12 car. All right, doing some math. Clint Halterman in on lap 22 means he's got 33, maybe 34 laps to go. Splitting that exactly in half would be 2 stints of 17 laps, put him in around lap 39. He's not on alternates though, so if he's going to push here, he's either feeling something that those tires are actually better on the short run, or he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, or maybe he's going to take these primaries as long as they can go, and then just do a short stint at the end with the alternates. Brandon Schulenberger has a meatball flag. What happened to Brandon?
There's a lot of damage for the Wingate car.
Did he have a bad pit exit?
This looks to me like cold tires.
I would also bet that. Yep. Woo! Yeah, yep. It has been a trial by fire for Brandon tonight. He's still in it. Connor Bingle tries to work John Forbes Jr. a little bit more. They've pitted about the same time, and they've emerged just as close as they were before. Forbes gets a little loose.
And again, a wiggle out of the 11. We were singing his praises earlier, but Forbes has kind of slipped back in traffic here. Now under fire from Bingle. Bingle staying really calm. It's really easy to get excited when you see these opportunities, right? You see the guy in front of you
tuck
making
back under, Bingle. Tuck back under. Get the
way
draft.
off in the grass.
You have no overlap. Get the toe. My God, man.
But look at the defense from Forbes. 2 of the newer drivers
and
going
Forbes
at it.
Was missing the corner. No, he's not.
He's going to get a great run through 2. Looks like he didn't exactly, but still keeping that car, both of them, the fact that they kept those cars straight, that was a very sketchy situation for Saddleback and UAH.
As Jake Cummings is in the pits, he managed to go 24 laps there. So shout out to Jake for being able to do the best fuel saving in a race where the length doesn't, I don't think, provide an advantage to fuel saving. But maybe Jake knows something that we don't and is going to be able to do a very impressive late alternate stint. What's he on right now? Is he on primaries?
He put primaries on as well.
Yes, he is. All right, then I guess he's just going to do a late alternate stint. I do believe that is emerging as the preferred strategy. As we go back to Connor Bingle, continuing to work John Forbes Jr.
And I think there were a couple of issues with the few cars that got to pit road because Bingle was behind Camper and he loops it.
There goes Bingle.
Able to get it back going. He hasn't lost a position. He's got a little bit of a gap back to Camphor, but Camphor, McKim, Gosler, all of those drivers, rookies, I believe made some sort of mistake on the cycle because they came out behind Bingle, just using Bingle as a little bit of a measuring stick. Bingle going to stay low here, give up the position to the Kansas State driver, but come on, man. That's why they call them 10 meters.
Dadgummit. I mean, I gave Ricky the nickname Right Foot Ricky. I can't think of one for Bingle.
Well, last night on the panel, we came up with Ken Meters instead of Ken Miles. For the Bingle himself.
Ken Inches.
Ken Inches. We're looking at... Who is this? Is this John Voight? This is John Voight. I need to get with him and Andrew and get them to make different paint schemes.
Oh my God! Like put some highlighter yellow on there or something, please.
Man. Some hot pink. I can convince Andrew to put hot pink on his car. Andrew and I have talked a couple times. He's chill enough for that, probably.
Halterman.
Thomas Crump in the pits. What has happened to the 06 team car who's running so well? I'm seeing a long pit stop for Crump. Not sure if that's
let's see how far back my replay goes.
Or
oh boy.
What exactly happened?
All right, iRacing controls. Here we come.
And this is him right behind Keegan Cowlick, and he just...
Internet?
This could be a connectivity flag.
Yeah, I think that's a connectivity flag.
That's just Clemson luck, unfortunately.
Goodness gracious. And he was having a really solid run today, too. Yeah, that is connectivity flag. Yep. Does he come in this lap?
I think Crump is done for the day. I
Yeah,
think
he comes in.
either himself or iRacing has told him to call it quits. He's our third exit from the race, which unfortunately is going to score him much, much farther back in the field than he had been running. He was having, again, such a great day. Top 5 easily.
Good battles. Good racing.
Unfortunately now. Very aggressive, though, man. Thomas Crump is very quickly turning into the guy that you do not want to be trying to pass. That was a lot of defense very early in this race.
And I think he threw that move where he, like, cleared someone to his left and then immediately dove to the left of someone else. I don't know. Slicing and dicing is what I call that.
Turn 1, yeah, that was...
Turn 1's a great
definitely
spot
one for the highlight reels.
As we look at Keegan
this
Kalick,
is Keegan Kalick.
P7. Edwin Onofre is only 4 tenths behind Dylan Beatty. He's right on board with Edwin a little bit. Watch him cook.
Hey Ryan, while we're sitting here, if you remember this layout, how about you walk us through the lap? Something we typically do during qualifying. Didn't get the chance today, but we're coming to the start-finish line. Walk me through your thought process here at a lap at Interlagos.
Yeah, so coming onto the front straight, you can, it's a little cambered. Late finish line, you break it about the 50, and the corner turns in a little bit before you actually start worrying about the apex, so tricky braking zone. You want to use a lot of curve on both the right and the left. Carry as much speed as you can. That corner is easy flat. He's going to be riding in the slipstream with Dylan Beatty here.
I hate to interrupt. Something has happened to our leader, Muhammad Alif.
Uh-oh.
He's back to 7th and losing time rapidly. That car...
Here's a replay. You ruined my lap walkthrough, Lee.
I did, but this is...
I went back a whole 60 seconds. So
sure.
Maybe get a clear picture of what happened here. Is he just pulling it in? Doesn't want to finish? Oh, race? Okay. I mean,
he's changing tires.
But he's still not out yet. I guess he just quit.
I'm led to believe he had to go get some Wingstop. I mean, that
is the
what happened to Ball State drivers who are leading clashes.
That is the norm. As we look at Edwin working on Dylan Beatty some more, I guess we're going to have to figure out post-race what happened to Alif. If that was Wingstop because we know Ball State has a history, or if he just decided he didn't feel like finishing the race. And, you know, I know this isn't points paying, it's just a clash, but I'd be a little bit hurt if he just didn't feel like finishing. It seems a little insulting to the rest of the field. But I digress. As we watch Edwin continue to work on Dylan Beatty.
This has turned into a really interesting battle. Onofre had a ton of pace at the beginning. Beatty pushed really, really hard at the top of the race to lead laps early. Right now, Onofre on alternates. Beatty goes wide, and the spot goes to the University of North Texas driver, sporting a nice PPG paint scheme. That's Joseph Newgarden, is it not?
Yes, it is. Yeah, with gold wheels.
What is it with the gold wheels? This is a very...
I don't know.
It seems like a gold wheel racing is emerging here. I like it.
Gold wheel racing. Fool's gold, I guess you could say. Fool's gold wheel racing. Keegan Kalick. I don't know if it's Kalick or Kalick.
It's Kalick, I believe.
It's Kalick. Like, I don't know. Are you? I assume you're more confident in that than I am.
I mean, yeah, I talked for him for 6 hours.
Okay, all right. Well, you know more than me.
If I'm wrong about that, I'll feel real embarrassed. He's to the outside. Nice overlap there with Paz. Paz going to defend the inside. We've seen this time and time again today, but look at the momentum that the 29 carries around the outside. This is an easy pass, and boys, this is for a top 5 spot. Through goes Keegan, and he is going to get it down the straight, but look at the run. Ricky Paz does that little fake-out move. He's playing the mental games. Right foot Ricky trying to get on the right side of the brain, interact a little bit with the neurons of Keegan Kalick, and that's a really weird way to put it. But mind games out of the driver of the 19. I don't know. There was a connection there somewhere. But Keegan able to hold the spot and start pulling away. You can open up a little bit of the gap here. Right now, 0.4 of a second and potentially growing. Ooh, a little bit of grass there, and that is a car way off to the side.
Oh, if only I could figure out who that was.
Logan?
Logan McKim. Let's watch a replay, boys and girls. Boop.
That is a teammate of Calix. Oh, heavy left front lockup.
I think loops it. Probably gets out of the gas a little too much. Can I go back more? Yes, I can.
All right, Ryan's got this production thing figured out here.
I don't know if I would say that just yet.
This is McKim. This is his first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much gas. That's what I thought. John Forbes Jr. working on Andrew Voigt. This is for 10th. This is for a top 10.
I believe all of these drivers are currently fighting one lap down, but still in close proximity to each other. So yeah,
correct.
positions on the line.
Yes, only the top 7 are... Wait, no, I don't think that's necessarily true. Top 11 are currently on the lead lap. Connor Bingle is the first driver a lap down. Oh, Andrew Voigt gets squirrely. Forbes is going to have the run. But Voigt is going to have the shorter way down the straightaway.
Yikes. This is going to be
Voigt's
really,
on the
really
button,
close.
but
Side
Forbes
by
isn't.
side into one. Voigt wants to make this pass and get it over with. Gets the inside. Saddleback looking for the switchback. But Voigt hangs on to the spot now down another long straightaway. We'll see if the 11 can do anything with it. Forbes pulls to the outside. Means he's not going to have the preferred groove into this turn. We'll see if Voigt can pull ahead at the apex. They're going to stay side by side. And no, Voigt gets run off the track. I was not say gets, he just does. And that's going to be a 1x for the 11. He'll have to hit the reset button, but a little bit of dirt kicked up by the 9. Forbes not gone quietly up the hill. Double right-hander here, and Voigt able to put just a little bit of daylight back to the 11 car. Put Andrew Voigt in 10th, John Forbes Jr., the 11 car, fittingly, in 11th.
This remains the closest battle on track. Clint Halterman is coming up to lap these guys, though. Clint has got a lovely little gap for first place right now. Over 5 seconds betwixt himself and Jake Cummings. That battle continues in front of him for 10th. See how quickly he catches up to those guys. Forbes makes the move for the outside again. Voigt defends wisely, but I think Forbes' run was too strong. See if he can outbrake. Oh, he had it. You had him cleared, John. You had him cleared.
Voigt had a great corner to get great momentum on exit and keep that position. That was an aggressive defense, but man, it worked.
I'm almost curious if Clint plumbing up to clap these guys will
you got it?
Slow them. Yeah, I'm good. I'm curious if Clint lapping these guys will slow them down enough, and maybe they'll be side by side again. Started every word with a CL there for a little bit. That's the magic of Frauderman. As he frauded his way via presumably a Leafs wing stop order to this Clash win. Catches up to those guys several car lengths every corner. I think that just shows the disparity between the front and the midfield in this Clash. Not a humongous field tonight. Hopefully we'll get more entries for actual points-paying events. This remains the closest battle on track.
Again, a huge defense out of Voigt, down into 1. He really likes that inside line. It seems to me like Forbes just hasn't quite figured out the switchback there. That's a maneuver that we've seen pretty much all day. Even if you're on the outside of turn number 1, you can get a pretty good run to cut down into the corner, maybe make a move right here. He's just not able to stick it in deep enough. I think backing out right there was wise, although Voigt did miss the apex, so we should have a little bit of a run.
And John Forbes Jr. has got a black flag. For
He's gonna have
incidents, possibly?
Would assume it's just a number of off tracks. I don't see any damage to that 11 car.
A number of off tracks must be. As Josh Camper's got a meatball flag. He is out of the car.
No.
How far did this happen? Let's see.
It's the rookie from Kansas State. Going up the hill. It looked to me like he was going to make a routine pit stop. If I had to guess, he just maybe smacks the pit entrance wall? No? Full speed down the front stretch.
I did go back a full minute. Oh my goodness, he kills Bingle!
What a Connor!
He kills Bingle!
With
What happened? Oh
I don't know
goodness.
who that was on.
Let's find out.
But we're going to rewind.
Let's
Riding
do,
along with Bingle, he's in 4th gear.
Let's do that. Bingle just.
I don't know.
I don't think he was.
I mean, it looked to
taking
me
the
like
corner
both
full
drivers
speed.
were going to make the corner.
I don't know.
Bingle had just gotten lapped by Edwin Onofre. I think he was trying to give plenty of room for the leader or the
slowed down
lap
letting
car
people
there.
by. That's my best guess. Well,
That is a huge hit. It's going to be a day ender for both Kampfer and Bingle.
and it looks like John Forbes Jr. has served that penalty because he is now several seconds behind Andrew Voigt. That battle is done for the time being. So we take a look at Ricky Paz starting to work on Keegan Kallick. These two have been near each other just about all day.
The message from Connor Bingle is, Ryan, my God, I need some help.
Yeah, I saw that. I think some Coach Ryan is going to have to happen. I mean, hey, I think he did a couple one-off races last season, and compared to those, the improvement has shown. So props to him for that, and props to him for showing up for the Clash. For nothing but experience. Making the time commitment to get better at the car. Nothing going for Ricky here on Keegan.
Yeah, the same can be said for all the drivers who came out here to run this. I mean, for the more experienced drivers, I think it's definitely good for a shakedown. But yeah, guys like Kampfer, McKim, Gosler, Forbes, Nolan Starkey, I know he's run some cup races, but new to the FC side. You know, this is just a good experience to get in and have some race laps, you know, before the season actually starts here. This is side by side. Ricky Paz to the inside of Kallick. We'll see if he maybe takes advantage of the Canadian. And yeah, Kallick's going to give him plenty of room and let Ricky slide on by. Right foot Ricky into the top 5, nearly loses the car there, brings Kallick back into the battle. But no momentum, no dice for the 29. And for the moment, the ECU Valparaiso, I believe that's also, it's not an alumni car. But Ricky Paz holds on to 5th momentarily, nearly contact, as Kallick tried to outbrake him without first moving to the inside. That move we saw didn't go well with Josh Kampfer, and it would not have gone well with Keegan Kallick. But now he's got the slipstream down the front stretch. Less than 20 laps to go. Paz, for half a second, looked like he was going to come into pit road, and Kallick swung to the outside. They're going to be side by side in a 1. Spot goes to Ricky. Very aggressive drive to take the defensive line into 2. Still side by side. Really good run for Kallick on the outside. Coming up into the left-hander here, the downhill section. Paz plays that defense. Crossing pit exit, and he should have the spot here, although Kallick fires it on the outside. This is great stuff. Kallick off track, though. Momentum back to the 19. Paz still ahead. And if I had to guess, this back and forth swapping is going to go on for quite a few more laps. On pace, these two look to be equally matched.
Yeah, that's the thing about a track like Interlagos, is you've got this tight, twisty technical section where you just do the best you can to stay on the bumper of the guy in front of you. Then you've got 2 good passing opportunities where almost in a way the front straightaway can get you closer, and then you can make the move into turn 4 if you didn't make the move into 1. So Interlagos just really lends itself beautifully to Indy cars here. And Kallick misses the corner entirely, runs wide, loses several car lengths. Gonna have to regroup and fight another corner, fight another lap.
Both hitting this time. Here they come. This is with 18 to go in the race. Both of them on primaries, I believe. We'll see if they switch to alternates or stay on primaries. Both of them may still have to fulfill that requirement to swap the compounds. Dylan Beatty, you can see there on pit road as well. So is Nolan Starkey. Starkey having a really good run.
Bingle's back out on track. He's going to be between them.
Connor Bingle is going to get right in the middle of this battle. His optional repairs are finished up smartly, I think, kind of backs out of the way. Lets Calic have it. Multiple laps down for Bingle, still in the 14th spot. But now coming out of the pits, we'll see who's the best on cold tires, Ryan. This is certainly a very sketchy part of the car to drive. As who is that? That might be McKim. Very slow in the racing line. But cold tires, Ryan, talk to me about those.
Made it obvious what he was doing, even if he was on the racing line. That lap car did a good job of making it clear what they were doing. Jake Cummings is pushing. He is on the button and has reeled Clint in by a couple tenths you can see up there on the timing tower, but I think the gap was at most 6.5. Now it's 5.5. So Jake is trying to make it work. As we are down to 18 laps to go. Probably about 2/3 of the way through this race or so. Ricky runs wide. Keegan does too, but not as bad. He's going to have the run. Ricky sticks to the inside. Keegan stays in the slipstream as long as he can. Goes for the outside. Nothing yet. Slightly better apex than Ricky. Similar turn twos for both of them. We'll see how things shake out down into turn 4, Cade.
Yeah, Calic should be able to get the toe here and pull to the inside. He's at least going to have that option. Ricky saw and I think was ready to defend but didn't have to. Both of them really good through that corner, though it looked to me like Paz pushed a little bit harder. Great save by Calic. Got up on those rumble strips. That could have turned that car around very easily. Now this is a battle now for the 4th spot. I believe Dylan Beatty had to pit again or something happened to that 20 car because both of these drivers have jumped him. We talked earlier, Halterman and Cummings looked like they were going to be coming in lap 39.
Beatty is also out of the race.
Dylan Beatty has disappeared. Here he is.
See what we can figure out if anything happened. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
okay, that was not wing stop. Well, I mean, he hit his wing and then he stopped.
Sure, yeah, that was a hellacious head-on impact.
Yeah, race done.
That's day done.
Unfortunate.
For the 20 car.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate turn of events for... Where's my camera? Where's my camera? I lost it. Unfortunate turn of events for the Ball State guys. Started on the front row. First and second for Lucas Moody and Dylan Beatty, and then for both of them to not even finish the race. Unfortunate luck. Oh my goodness, what happened to Ricky?
A spin. That's the same corner that bit Moody. That's the same corner that's bit quite a few guys. I think Logan McKinnon a moment there as well. And we're riding along with Ricky. Paz is going to swing it in super wide.
Right foot
Try
Ricky.
to get the power down. There it is.
Right foot Ricky. There it is. Doesn't hit anything. Gets away with it. Lucky. Lucky, lucky.
It was nearly a get the tarps moment. But he saved it, and it's still running in P5. 16 laps to go. I expect to see the leaders on pit road here in a little bit. Edwin Onofre from 3rd is the first one to roll it down, and I'm seeing double. That's John and Andrew Voigt.
Oh boy, battle of the brothers. For 8th place, no less.
Yeah. Both these drivers have done a good job keeping their car clean. Honestly, a lot of them, both of them have played a lot of good defense at points in this race. Solid defending without wrecking your stuff, really hard to do. But the two Penn State drivers executed it really well. And John Voigt's had that carrot on a stick for a while. His brother's been in front of him for quite a few laps, and I think it's really brought some lap time out of that 129. Pushing hard even though he's on the primaries, and he's brought back a lot of time. He's got the 9 in his vision now. And if they can have a nice clean pit cycle here, I believe one more pit stop for both of these drivers, they do that together, they're going to end this race together, and they're going to have a battle to the end. Just 15 to go to see who is going to be the best finishing Voigt brother. We may have to keep a tracker of that, of how many times John comes out of top on Andrew and vice versa.
I'm trying to come up with a pun. I can't think of anything. Gosh. I'll come back to that. Start thinking of puns that rhyme with Voigt.
We're workshopping. Nothing rhymes with Voigt. It's like orange.
Voigt. It's like. Ah, gosh. Who's the most vigorous Voigt?
Vigorous Voigt.
Vigorous. That's not great.
That is pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. We'll work on it. Anywho.
If you say it with the German accent, you can almost pull Vastest. The Vastest Voigt? I don't know. This is Edwin Onofre. He's driving for the University of Northern Texas, I think.
Ooh,
who nearly gets sideways there in the same corner that ate Ricky's lunch. Gets around the lapper cleanly.
Yeah,
and
I was just curious to see how he came out from the pits relative to everyone else. But he's kind of in a world of his own right now. I mean, Edwin, Keegan, and Ricky all have, and Nolan, for that matter, have quite substantial gaps between them. Jake Cummings continuing to use that button, trying to make that gap between himself and Clint Halterman as small as he can make it. Tell you what, why don't we ride on board with our race leader for a little bit, take a little bit of a break. We will come back to watch the finish of the Collegiate iRacing League Clash. So no problem. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to live coverage of the FC Clash here from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Interlagos, your leader Clint Halterman coming in for his final stop of the day with 13 laps to go. And it is going to be a battle to the finish. Jake Cummings, we mentioned, fuel saved a ton at the beginning. That's let him split this final stint as short as he can make it. I think he's going to switch to alternates and have a ton of push laps. The net that he's trying to make up is about 4 seconds. Halterman's going to get the undercut here, but he'll be ending the race on slightly older tires. We'll be around to see how that one shakes out here. 13 laps should take no more than 20 minutes, so stick around. But until we get to then, we've seen some messages in this chat here on this live YouTube stream. That is a great feature that we have. So go on over there. If you got a specific driver you want an update on, if you got a question for us, we will be reading through that and letting you guys know. I'm seeing a lot of support for Alex Jones, the driver from Rose-Hulman. Really impressive day. I haven't talked about it much, which is honestly a good thing because we've covered a lot of incidents and a lot of things going wrong, but no mistakes from the driver from Rose-Hulman. He is up to P7. The Bingo Fan Club, and a lot of seeing a couple Let's Go Jakes as well. Jake Cummings, right now your race leader, has a chance to win this thing after a lot of adversity has befallen several drivers. We also want to take the moment to give a shout out to all of our admins here in the FC, Ricky Paz, Ryan Whitlock, doing a lot behind the scenes to make this series happen. And of course, Ryan also producing and broadcasting tonight. Not easy to do. So when he gets back and is able to talk, he's not going to know that I just, complimented him, which he absolutely deserves. He's done a lot of work, done a lot for us, and taking time away from the wheel is not easy because he's a racer at heart, but doing it up here behind the scenes for us, everybody else who works with the CIL to get all of our social medias together. If you like what you see, make sure that you are subscribed and liking the video. It really helps the series out a lot, helps grow a lot of what we're trying to do, shows that people have interest, and helps us keep bringing you great content like you're seeing today. Ryan Whitlock back up in the booth. I'm Cade Corbin, 12 to go here from Interlagos, and I'd have to imagine that Cummings has got to pit soon. The gap between Halterman and Onofre is 7 seconds as they run, and I believe Cummings will sit somewhere in that gap. Looking at the 95 from Converse right now, is it going to be this time or is it going to be next time? Looks to me like it's going to be this time, boxing this lap for Jakes Cummings for the final time. And if he switches to the alternates, he's going to have a great opportunity to catch Clint Halterman, but Halterman's on the button right now. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. We'll see where Cummings blends.
Here's Clint Halterman passing him now. So Clint's going to have quite the gap. Also on the alternates, so good strategy call. I don't think a few laps fresher is going to make enough of a difference for Jake. But we'll see.
And I think Cummings, I don't necessarily say that he made a mistake, but he certainly gave up a lot of time getting undercut the way he did. The gap is now down to less than 4.5, so 2 seconds less than it was earlier. I could be wrong about that, but in my opinion, 11 laps, he's going to need about half a second a lap to get to Halterman and then have time to pass him. As much defense as we've seen being played today, Cummings is going to have to work very quickly, and then by the time he gets there, he's got to have tire left to make the move happen. We've seen a lot of very interesting moments between these two drivers. We could be shaping up to see another one today. But if I'm looking at the deltas correctly, this is going to be a race that is Halterman's to lose.
Yeah, I mean, just looking through a couple of those corners, the gap between them would ebb and flow, but generally Jake is dealing with what Clint had to deal with just a couple laps ago. He's got to get his tires warm still. You know, Indy cars don't have tire blankets. They come out as cold as the ambient air is. So Jake's probably going to have tire temperature now. If he puts in his best lap of the race, there's a good chance it's going to be now. But yeah, still 5 seconds with 10 laps to go. Half a second a lap is doable if the tire advantage is serious, but it's only a few laps here tonight, so I don't know if it's gonna happen, but never say never, right?
No, absolutely not. We've got to sell it all the way. I mean, we're the broadcasters. This has to be exciting. Ryan's just seen something.
Here's the battle for the valor of the Voights.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You like that one? That was good.
I definitely like it better than whatever you said earlier, vindicating.
I think vigorous.
Vanquishing.
The valor of the Voights. But yeah, Andrew Pitts. John comes out ahead of him. We're looking at John right now on alternates, and Andrew is also on alternates. Oh, I think they do have different paint schemes. Wait a minute.
Well, one of them's got blue on the front, one of them's got white on the front, but that's like the only difference.
Yeah, so this is Andrew Voigt here. It's mostly blue side pods, and John is white side pods. And he's got, let's see, white front end plates and blue rear end plates. And Andrew, I almost just said
Stop talking. You're making me look dumb.
No, I'm helping, Cade. We're going to be doing this all season. I'm helping.
I'm learning my colors.
And white, let's see. Yeah, so differing in spots.
It's a little complicated in my opinion. They look good though. They do look like.
Yeah, I think just the because Andrew is a student and John is an alumni. So just once we've got the student alumni banners on there, then it'll be real easy.
Now, while we were at that little commercial break where we don't have any commercials, which, by the way, we're not sponsored, but if you would like to sponsor the Formula College Cup Series, the Formula World, whatever we are...
Formula College Series.
I've broadcasted too many races this week. Holy... With the Formula College World Championships, if you'd like to sponsor a race, we can have some sponsors to run during our nice little pauses. But while that happened, something happened to the 30 of Aaron Gosler in Kansas State. Might be a little bit too far back for us to go to try to find it, but do want to give you that update.
Andrew's closing up
quite a few laps to go.
The valor of the Voights.
Oh, something happened to Forbes. John Forbes is out of the race.
Maybe I can find this quickly without wasting too much time.
See if we can find that. It was a great run for the rookie from Saddleback.
What happens? On throttle a bunch here. Does he do what Dylan did? Yes.
Yeah, it's that same corner. Oh, and this is...
He's still alive, and now
he's not.
He's not.
Oh!
Race over. And we
And that
missed
was an
this
immediate,
pass.
oh, he knew. Oh, and the pass happened. Andrew got John. Oh, no.
Wait. I went back too far. No, I didn't. Bingo.
We're back live. Andrew Voigt.
Okay, I'm gonna go back until I find it.
Leading Voigt.
Here we go.
This is before the pass.
Ooh, John just gets wide in that second of the two hairpins. Andrew's got him cleared before they even go through the left-hand sweeper. I think that is just the experience. Been around the CIL much longer, Andrew has, rather as opposed to John. I think just that experience is showing a little bit more racecraft, fewer mistakes. Even if the pace is similar, it's about how much of that pace you're able to extract at all times. Only 7
get a
laps to
report
go.
from one of our stewards that John Forbes Jr. had hit the incident point limit. I think we mentioned earlier he had to serve a drive-through for hitting a number. He hit a number that was too much so that iRacing decided he was done, and Forbes decided that there was no better way to end the race than 5 feet deep in the barrier. So John Forbes' race is done, and that's going to slide him back to the 13th position, if my math is correct, which in a 20-car field as a rookie is still not bad. Saw a lot of impressive stuff out of Forbes tonight, but a lot of off-tracks accumulated. I mean, I think the limit is something like 25 or 30. Getting to that number in less than a race length is, just something to work on. That's why you come to the Clash. You find where your weak spots are, and if Forbes can get that cleaned up, he's certainly going to have a shot to get some top 10s here this season.
I'll tell you what, Jake Cummings has most certainly decreased that gap.
Goodness.
I don't know if it's enough, but...
Well, hold up. 5 seconds. 4 laps ago, he's looking at about a second a lap. 7/10 of a second a lap. By that math, it gets him to the lead in 4 laps and gives him 2 to make the pass. Edwin Onofre has also chopped it down a little bit. If those two get together, which we have seen before, Onofre could be shaping up for a very, very good finish to back up his prototype podium last night. Still on track to get a podium here for Onofre.
We're just right on board. Watch Jake work. You can see Clint up ahead, much closer out of Jake's windshield than he was a few laps ago.
And Jake is a guy, when he gets dialed in, he gets dialed in. He doesn't blink. He doesn't look at anybody else. He doesn't talk to anybody. When he's locked in, he's locked in. And right now, he can see the bait, right? He can see the rabbit that he's got to catch, and he is full push. Map 1, making it work. He's got the gap now down to less than 2.5. Halterman found something that lap. He's been able to stop the bleeding a little bit. Cummings still eating away slightly, but coming to 5 laps to go. The math says he's just going to barely get there. If he can, get the slipstream at the right time, that could be what Cummings needs, but he's got to get close enough first. 2.7 seconds, 5 laps to go here at Interlagos. Fresher tires on the 95. It may be enough, but it may not.
Would love to see last lap time. Ooh, can I? I'm working on it. Boom. Not quite. Ha ha ha!
Just looking at the, oh, we got it?
Oh, but that's just for Dadgummit. Wait a minute. Working on it. Compare. Ha 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 ha! I got it! I figured it out. Okay. Now, let me... last 3 laps. Beautiful! Beautiful! I did it! I did it! Wait, let me flip it around. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that just
another
dandy?
10th. for Cummings. At this rate, it's not going to be enough. He needs close to a half-second a lap, and he just hasn't gotten it. I have to believe that Halterman saw his gap, decided to save his stuff just a little bit, and now is making a lot of push. You've also got to imagine these drivers can only be on the push to pass for 200 seconds per race. If Halterman still has some of that left, Cummings may have used all of his up, and that is going to be a serious speed detriment for the 95, not being able to get on the button. Here is Cummings, this is Halterman from UNC Charlotte, rocking a Lowe's paint scheme, tribute to Jimmy Johnson, Hendrick driver on the NASCAR side, trying to put that paint scheme in victory lane. Coming to 3 laps to go here. He lost quite a bit of time through that sector, went from 2.6 down to 2.3. But Halterman has been really good coming up the hill. We'll see where it lies at the line. 3 laps to go here in Brazil. Now Cummings on the button. But I don't know how much of that he has left. That time by still just another 10th, and not enough for the driver from Converse. He's going to have to push harder. He's going to have to find a little bit more. He may have enough pace to get close, but with this little left in the race, I just don't know if he has the time. The rest of your leaderboard going to flash by on the top of the screen there. A couple of great runs I want to highlight before we end this one. Nolan Starkey from Trine. I saw Wyatt Burton is in the chat. Mr. Excitement himself watching this race. I thought I saw that. Yes, he's sitting back. He's enjoying a great run from the driver from his same school. Of course, we mentioned Alex Jones, driver from Rose Holman, I believe sitting in the 7th spot right now. And both of the Voigt brothers able to bring it home as well. How about Logan McKim from St. Clair, the rookie? Recovery from a couple of spins, a couple of incidents, but he is going to get himself a top 10 front half of the field in his CIL debut as well. That interval on the bottom has dropped down to 2.2. 2 laps, you can do the math, a second per lap. It's going to be really, really difficult for Jake Cummings to pull off, but he gained a lot right there. He has some push to pass left to use. 2/10 might not do it. 2 laps to go through the Senna S for the penultimate time.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Kate, a full over a second to catch up, and then as one of the great F1 commentators likes to say, it is one thing to catch, it is another thing altogether to overtake. So, great run by Jake, getting that gap closed down as much as he did, especially now it's under 2, especially right after that pit exchange. He really found some pace that Clint just could not match, but just running out of time, already a long race, but just last stint, not quite long enough. Impressive drive nonetheless.
Absolutely. Impressive drive from a lot of these drivers. 55 laps, not easy to do. Only 6 cars still on the lead lap. That also could play into this. They are not far behind Nolan Starkey. I don't know if they're going to get him before the end of the race. A lapper could throw a wrench in things. I don't see the 096, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But coming to the white flag, sponsored by the Longland Corporation. For all your car, truck, SUV, and heavy-duty needs, visit Napa and get the Napa know-how from the Napa Longland Corporation. Clint Halterman brings it through 1 and 2, down the hill, cleanly through turn 3. He's got over a second back to Jake Cummings. It's been a great drive all day, kept his head in the game, wasn't leading until midway through this race. But Clint Halterman has managed to take control when it's counted, and even though the gap has shrunk to just 1 second, that's all he needed to do. If he can bring it home, if he has enough fuel, and if he has enough concentration, he is going to be able to get this one done for the University of North Carolina in Charlotte. Forgot it there because he doesn't have the usual paint scheme on. But last season's alumni winner, showing why he knows how to get it done. Through the middle portion of this track, he's got a really dangerous corner coming up. It's bitten a lot of guys today, but it hasn't bitten Halterman and it hasn't bitten Cummings. 1.1 seconds is just not going to be close enough to make a move, I don't think. And even though he can see the purple car behind him, Halterman stays clean, makes it onto the straightaway. It's flat out from here to home. And as he brings it off of the final turn, down the home straightaway, weaving back and forth, Clint Halterman is going to win the FC Clash at Interlagos, and he does it by a second over Jake Cummings.
Yeah, great result for Clint. He'll be happy with that one. Misfortune for Ball State, and I'm hearing reports that our Muhammad Alif decided to go drink some chocolate milk rather than finish this race, and Clint Halterman was there to pick up the pieces. Great result for him. Great strategy. I think he was on the preferred strategy and had the pace to make it work.
We'll get a chance to talk to Halterman and Cummings. I believe Edwin Onofre brings it home to finish off the podium, so a great run for the University of North Texas alumni. This may be his first podium in FC competition in quite some time, if ever. Definitely a great closed wheel racer, fendered cars. Here in an open wheel, though, it's been a minute, I think, since we've seen Edwin Onofre coming back to action, having a great run, always a good thing to do. Some great stories there in the top 10, like we've mentioned. And of course, we want to thank everybody for coming out and actually running the Clash, even though there's no points on the line. Some experience and, of course, some bragging rights were handed out tonight. And Clint Halterman is going to, not really sure what he's doing, took a little bit of a joker lap there, gonna bring it around and do some donuts. But we'll get to speak with the top three once Halterman stops driving around like a maniac.
Unc Charlotte. There we go.
And he'll tow that car in.
Lined up.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. Be right back with our driver interviews.
And we are back live here in Interlagos, ready to interview race winner Clint Halterman. Congratulations on winning the FC Clash.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was kind of a weird race, but I'll take it.
Yeah, so it seemed like you had what was probably the most effective strategy of the day. Tell me a little bit about how that shook out, what your rationale was behind starting on primaries, especially.
That's kind of usually my strategy with these races. I don't know if it's just a placebo effect or what, but I always feel like the reds die really fast when you start on them versus like if you wait to put them on like in the middle or at the end of the stint, let the track rubber in. You kind of maybe in your own pocket, not racing quite as hard. They kind of last a little bit longer. And I haven't done too much riding in this car at this track. Couldn't make the last time we were here, and then the first time I wrecked pretty early. But I do remember tires being a bit of a situation. And I just felt like from my running, the lap times weren't too far off, and I kind of just wanted to try going on the primes. I felt like those would eventually cross over with the reds, and it looked like that did happen around 10 laps into the stints is when the crossover point happened. But yeah, I just kind of I kind of just winged it, to be honest. But yeah, usually my strategy with any car in Roval is start on primaries and finish on alts if I can.
Yeah, and you definitely Jake Cummings was on the exact same strategy, just a couple laps difference between when he made his pit stops. Tell me about that pressure you faced there at the end, because his tires were fresher and he was catching you a bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely did not feel very comfortable on the alts compared to the primes. Didn't really feel like I was in the same groove as I was with the prime tires. And I definitely was starting to get worried because the first couple of laps there, when he was on fresh tires, he was taking 8 tenths, 6, 7 tenths out of me. And yeah, I was a little worried, but then the gap started to stabilize a little bit, and I started putting in better laps. His tires started to fall off a little bit. I was really just trying to not make mistakes, and he was definitely a lot faster than me and more confident on those reds than I was. I really wasn't too confident on them, but kind of got towards the end with 5 laps to go. I was like, okay, I'm only giving up 2 tenths a lap. That's okay. And then started getting that mindset, and I'm just glad the race was 55 laps because would have been in trouble otherwise. But yeah, just was trying to stay focused, not make mistakes. Once the gap started to stabilize a bit, definitely started to ease up a little bit, just focused on just keeping the car on the track.
Well, good result, buddy. Happy for you. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank my friends and family, of course. Thank the Orange Wheel Racing guys. Didn't have too many representatives tonight, and fortunately Brandon and Thomas had some different issues. I want to shout out Mr. Ryan Whitlock for putting on the broadcast tonight and interviewing me, and also Kate Corbin for being in the booth tonight. And yeah, just everyone else who makes this happen.
All right, buddy. Well, that was Clint Halterman, our race winner. And here I'll give it to Cade. Cade's going to take it away with Jake Cummings, our second place finisher.
Yeah, Jake, I know second tends to sting a little bit, but man, you brought it down from 6 seconds to 1. Was there anything different you could have done there to maybe narrow that gap down a little bit more? Because, man, once you got close, you were going to get the toe and you were going to have a chance. Anything different?
I could have realized that I couldn't have one-stopped this race in the first stint and not done 23 laps on a tank. I thought I was doing a really good job fuel saving. I was like, I don't, for some reason I was doing the math in my head wrong. 23 plus 22. I thought that equaled 55 for some reason, until my fuel calculator said that I was still 9 gallons off once I came out of the pits, and I was like, what? So yeah, that's how Clint caught up at first, and then had that massive gap, and I was like, oh man, I got some work to do. But yeah, it was fun pushing at the end to try to catch him. It wasn't ever gonna happen. I think he was chilling. And saving his tires. Mine were starting to overheat a lot, even with the 2-lap advantage I had. So I don't think there was anything else I could have done there. But it was a fun preseason to get back into the swing of things with this car. So it's all right.
So do you think tonight, doing a little bit of mental math, knock some of those cobwebs off, even though it's not a win? Do you think you're still going to carry some really positive momentum once we get this season going next week?
Oh yeah, I did. I didn't do a lot of iRacing over the summer, but the one league I did do, aside from our Summit Thunder Down Under part of that, was an IndyCar league. So I got to understand the new changes with the car a lot earlier than most people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a pretty good car. It was really snappy tonight when you're on the limit, but it kind of came into its own as the tires kind of came in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you all are too.
It's going to be a lot of fun, but we'll let you go here tonight. But before we do, is there anybody you want to shout out?
Well, I need to shout out my new wife. That happened over the summer.
Huge.
I always said fiance. Yeah, I said
Congrats.
fiance for several races, but now I can say wife. And after this, I'll open the door from the second bedroom and then just go hang out with her, which is cool. Definitely recommend. But yeah, otherwise, thanks to Converse Esports, of course. Can't wait to kick off the second year with them now that everything's pretty normal with them. And I'm sure they were watching, so that's always great. And thanks to you guys for doing so much work with the CIL and making all this possible. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that is Jake Cummings, second place finisher tonight. Looking forward to seeing him run well. So I'll hand it over to Ryan Whitlock. Last interview of the night. The alumni from the University of Northern Texas, Edwin Onofre, in the booth with us now.
Edwin, how
Hello
is
there.
it going?
don't mind me somehow getting P3 when I have done no practice laps around here whatsoever. Don't mind that at all.
Well, I mean, we talked about a couple times your impressive, what, P2, P3 last night in the prototypes?
Yes, P2, correct.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not that much that's different between these cars and the GTP, so just tell us a little bit about your race.
So, funny story, because I was talking to Jake Cummings, and he told me, hey, yeah, it's a fuel saving race. Yeah, it's a fuel saving race. You just gotta focus on fuel saving for 45 laps. That's the thing. He thought it was 45 laps instead of 55 laps, and I at first was like, really? I went ahead and trusted his word. I can't believe it. I trusted him. I feel betrayed. But either way, it was a good race. I just wish I could have been able to have some practice with the alternatives, because those were dead to me after 10 laps, and I would just fallen up behind the pace so quickly that I've resorted to use the hard compounds. Primaries. This is not Formula One. Anyway, primaries late in the race, and that's how I was able to catch up slightly, but it was not enough to secure P2 or P1. I'll take the podium, though. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Jake mentioned in the interview, we just had him in here, a couple updates to the IndyCar as well. I don't know how much experience you have with the IndyCar prior to said updates. But yeah, tires were tough. So, I mean, without further ado, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
Good old my family, good old Twitch chat that I'm currently streaming at right now. Hi guys, how you doing? Shout out to my coworkers from Discount Tire, and I gotta give a big, massive shout out to the team that's getting me more closely related to like real life racing, and that's one of my biggest opportunities I'd like to have. So I like to shout out to Tech Sport Racing, and as a matter of fact, Tech Sport Racing is gonna go ahead and go to Circuit of the Americas next weekend for their Mustang Challenge with one of their drivers, Colin Harrison. I thought I'd give a shout out to that driver in particular because he gave me his Pirelli P2 hat, autographed and all.
Sweet. Super cool. All right, well, good result tonight, Edwin. Look forward to hopefully seeing you for more of the season.
Oh, you'll definitely catch me at Sebring. I love that track.
All
but
right.
Thank you guys so much for hosting. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. That was Edwin Onofre from the University of North Texas? I think that's what UNT stands for. Third place finisher, alumni. Go ahead, Kate.
Sorry, that was such a great segue that he jumped into right there. Next week at Sebring, points are going to be on the line. I got so excited, I decided to talk over our wonderful broadcaster, so my apologies. But yeah, September 4th, exact same time, 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central is when that broadcast will start. Green flag is going to be sometime around 9:05 Eastern. And again, that race is going to be full length, 45 laps down in Florida. And you can see the rest of the schedule here. This is a fantastic schedule. A ton of different tracks that are all very challenging, very technical. Of course, we've got a lot of ovals on here. Being an IndyCar series, we got to have those left-turning races. Produced some great finishes last season, some great stories last season. But yes, with Interlagos in the books, the season has now officially started. Drivers are going to be getting ready for Sebring with points on the line. And those standings will count all the way up until Kansas in December. So, getting ready for that. Last thing we got to finish up here, if we can take a look at these final results. Clint Halterman, of course, gets it done by just 1 second over Jake Cummings. That close battle there at the end. Edwin Onofre from the UNT. Keegan Kallick able to hold on to the 4th spot ahead of Ricky Paz. And Nolan Starkey rounds out the lead lap. Great run there, the rookie from Trine. Showing a little bit of Mr. Excitement. Alex Jones, P7 from Rose Holman, great in his debut. And then Andrew Voigt tops out John Voigt, or what was it, the Valor of the Voigts?
Yeah.
But that's 8th and 9th for those two brothers. And then, of course, Logan McKim, another St. Clair driver, 2 laps down, but kept his car mostly clean to round out in 10th.
Aaron Gosler, another rookie from Kansas State, unfortunate finish, 3 laps down. Our very own Connor Bingle from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, making a run at the full season, 4 laps down, finishes 12th. Unfortunate result for John Forbes Jr. Looks like he could have finished top 10 for Saddleback College. Josh Kampfer, number 172, also from Kansas State, finishes 14th. Dylan Beatty, after starting on the front row from Ball State University, finishes 15th. And R. Muhammad Alif, after making a chocolate milk detour 29 laps down, is 16th. Thomas Crump showed promise early from Clemson University, the alumni, but instead scored in 17th, with Brandon Schulenberger from Wingate in 18th. Lucas Moody, our pole sitter, not the night he wanted, but it's just the Clash. No points to worry about from Ball State University, finishes 19th, with Riley Birkins, I believe, our last car in 20th from New England College. Nope, Ben Fiore from Marist. Did Ben start?
These two drivers failed to qualify.
Yeah,
Fiore did not make it to
55
the session
laps.
in time, and Hughes did not put down a lap. So that rounds out the field, and I think that was a pretty solid race. I think that's a good indication of what's to come. Of course, a really wide spread across the entire field, but within the field there are these pockets, there are these battles. I mean, we saw 5 cars under a blanket for 2, 3, 4 laps. A lot of really good stuff that I think is going to continue throughout the season. So, Ryan, have you got anything else to add?
No, just I think that was a wonderful demonstration of competitiveness in the field. I mean, we knew this was going to happen coming in, but there are lots of guys who were so close to each other. You know, it's a really great race when you making one small mistake puts you back 2 positions. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be on your A game, or else you are going to lose spots. And we saw that for sure kind of at the upper end of the midfield tonight. And I think that was great to watch.
It certainly was. Well, that is all from us. Get some kinks worked out, and we will have a full field next week at Sebring. Not going to be one you want to miss. If you're still looking for more collegiate iRacing League action, the Cup Series heads to Michigan on Monday, a race that I'll be competing in. Ryan, are you going to be in that one as well?
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Okay. But that is the next time that the CIL will be live. So thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Cade Corbin alongside Ryan Whitlock, saying so long from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Have a great night and goodbye.